go pop like a couple blue chews and get out there.
Like, take your blue chews, make your Kalshi nuts, and just floor it.
What's that? Attention span too short for Formula One? 30 minutes.
This is the
30 minutes over here. Formula E
TikTok
Unleashed.
format of electric racing. Just doom scrolling with your pedal to the ground.
This is the most crazy version of Formula E we've ever seen. They're just gonna be like, just grip the steering wheel and f it, man. Go for it. And then the next race, they're like, hey, pull out your calculator. We're driving with beeps and boops.
Welcome to Circuit Breakers. Happy summer. My name is Dallas. Here with me is Taylor, covering the Sanya E-Prix. And oh boy, Taylor, it was a hot one.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I feel more covered by Sanya than I do covering it. And that's because there was so much. Weird analogy, but I feel leveled by this race experience.
At the start of the race, the first 3 races, I was thinking, this one kind of might be a snoozer. And then I found out that I was delayed on my stream, so I had to scooch it up. And then started popping off, and that was not the case, almost immediately.
Yeah, I am going to be honest. I don't know what they were thinking, Dallas.
I think this is a perfect example of don't think, just do. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to get the big picture of Sanya here, Dallas, I got to ask, like, did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? You know, like, what's the FMK on this scenario? I guess rather it's Formula E podcast, so I'm guessing it's like, what's the Jake, the Ollie, and the Dan, Jake, Ollie, Dan.
FMK, Jake, Ollie, Dan. I mean,
yeah,
all 3 of them fall into that category. We have here during the red flag, just to kick this off, Jake Dennis just hotboxing his car because he's that handsome. This is what happens that we don't see when Jake removes his helmet because he's so hot, like physically, that he's just steaming and ruminating aura. Yeah,
I didn't know that they had Subarus in Formula E yet. I mean, I assumed that was going to be like a 2032 edition. So it's nice. It's nice that Andretti is poising itself for their arrival.
Kyle Dennis.
I don't know what that means.
Kyle, the Subaru driving, vape puffing Jake, the Kyle man Dennis, in this race. And started off on pole, then some stuff happened, and then he finished off winning this race. That's like the quick summary of Sanya. Jake Dennis at the start, then he wasn't at the front, and then he was. The end.
And literally everyone else got points because they didn't get penalties. Literally everyone else got points by being off of the FIA's like CC for their penalty emails. Mm-hmm. That's how you get on the podium in Sanya. I mean, Dallas, this was a bloodbath.
Absolutely. I mean, it was one of the more entertaining races to watch. And I feel like that's saying a lot for a Formula E race, but it was, when's the last time we had a red flag and then everything that's going on, all the penalties, as you mentioned, all of the top dogs right now in the standings, nowhere to be found. The only consistent part of this race was Dan Ticktum finding a way to up.
Twice. He did it twice. Not only did he do it once, they brought it right back.
Yeah, we have, so Taylor and I, we stream the races, we watch them, we kind of do, this is like our pre-show. Get a feel for it, watch the race together. So I pulled...
It's uncut and uncensored.
Yeah. So I pulled our live reaction to Dan trying to emulate his best Pepe Marti in Sao Paulo, kick flipping off of a car. Now, this is what we saw.
There is Dan Ticktum. He's on the outside. He just catapults over the back there of Mitch Evans.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I'd love to see an onboard of that.
Oh no.
Here we go then. Onboard with Dan Ticktum.
What's that?
Mitch Evans in.
Danny!
Caught out by the car slope.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, the second you get to the onboard, you realize that he just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, he just wasn't paying attention. I mean, we could talk a little bit more about Dan later on because, like, who knows what's going on with him? There's a rumor mills that he might not even have a seat next year. With what a naughty boy he's been this year.
And with that, there are rumor mills that we probably won't have a show, or I will just walk away from it altogether. You could do it solo.
I don't have the courage. I don't have the courage to face the audience. Yeah, this has not been Dan's year, and if there was ever a time for him to bounce back, especially after, the meltdown in Monaco, this probably would have been the one to go for. So we're just going to have to hope that he kind of pieces it together, because without a doubt, he is miles ahead of our diarrhea no finish championship. Like, it
and he
is,
finished this race too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, he's at the point now where he's getting diarrhea DNFs and finishes the race. He wipes up after the red flag and gets back out there. Yeah.
So I do have a theory with this incident, and I really hope that it comes true. The last time we saw a Cairo car do something like this was Pepe in Sao Paulo. After that, Pepe turned into a man-child, just tearing it up. I mean, the last two races, he's ended up on the podium. So maybe monkey see, monkey do, and Dan can figure this out, because you're right. He doesn't have much time left, and his future may be in jeopardy if he continues having the season that he's been having, and there's not many races left.
Honestly, I mean, I think the biggest highlight of this race in the big picture and the perspective of this season is that these rookies are pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Like, Pepe Marti is beating Dan Ticktum and earned it.
Yeah.
Like, he's a great driver. Slurs aside, he's on my up and up list right now. Like, he's someone I would draft for next year. Which is nice, because that's to me, that's a big indicator that he is coming back next year. So we are going to do the annual Circuit Breakers prediction video where we get significantly more than we should correct. Seats correct, but that is for another day. There's much ado here, Dallas, because, I mean, if there was ever a way for Andretti to rise from the ashes and win a race, I guess it's this one, but also we have to remember that all of the championship contenders absolutely nuked themselves.
Yes.
They threw themselves off a cliff.
Yes.
Like, it was a blowout. In which case we got to see a different yellow car on the podium, even though one of them didn't actually end up with a podium. We'll get into that too. Because let me tell you what, next year we're gonna have to start a penalties bingo card. And like, it's got to include, like, is this going to be on Formula E Zone, Steward Watch? Like, it's going to be a drinking game for every race. And, everyone has their new predictions, channel races. We're going to have the failures predictions, and that's going to be our season game to maintain. So,
yeah, especially because I found in the bowels of the FIA website where the official documents are that list, like, the legal papers of the penalties. We'll get to that in a little bit, just railing off all these penalties.
I am particularly not excited to review official FIA docs in order to score our viewers, but if it's worth the joke, I guess we'll do it. Yeah, I mean, absolute carnage. And I'm going to be honest, Dow's, Qually, that was awesome. We got to see the first ever Andretti 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jake Dennis finally has a potentially competent wingman. The most confident wingman in Jake Dennis history, that's for sure.
Yep.
But in addition to that, too, I feel like we might have a contender to break the Andretti second seat curse.
That's a very fair point. I mean, who has he had before in the past? Lauderer, Nato.
Yeah, he had Andre Lauderer, Norman Nato. He had Nico Muller. He had Oliver Askew. Yeah, I mean, he has churned through them. And like, frankly, it is kind of like the Red Bull seat where they just like, hey, Jake Dennis is the winner and you are here to help him. And that being said, it's not a great place to be, but it is what it is. But I feel like we have a contender for potentially a second season in Andretti.
Rarefied air. Well deserving though for Drugovich.
Yeah, I was worried like halfway through the season. I was like, oh, he has no points. He's like kind of been in the middle of the pack. He hasn't figured it out. That's going to be a real because he has a fan following. He has a big time fan following that Drugo. It was going to be pretty sad if he got the one season in a boot. So I'm thankful he got it pieced together, Dallas. I'm thankful.
You know what I'm thankful for?
What's
From
that?
this race? The universe has been made whole and corrected because Da Costa, Mr. Untouchable in Monaco, got penalized. Like, I like him again. I like Da Costa again.
Yeah. The opinions have come back into frame. Well, he's not just a poster boy, but he got penalized for maybe even a less egregious offense than he got everyone else penalized by.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was a little. Honestly, my thought process is that the stewards were watching our show and they're like, oh, well, we can't just bankrupt Da Costa, let everyone know that, we're placing bets on him in Kalshi.
Do they have Formula E on Kalshi yet?
I'm sure, Dallas, dude.
No, okay.
But we're not.
Hold on.
No, I'm not subscribing to that. We are not getting a Kalshi sponsorship. I'm not becoming morally bankrupt.
No. Okay. Two parts of this. Really quick sidebar. One, I was just talking to a buddy who was securing a sponsorship deal with Kalshi. And he texted me like 5 minutes ago, said that he got it. So good for him. Two.
No, not good for him. Do you understand his promotion of that is literally bankrupting an entire generation of young men?
Hold on. And two, I don't bet. I don't gamble. I have another friend who works in the sports betting industry, and I ask him, hey, is Formula E in the mix? He's like, no, there's Formula One, but not Formula E. I was like, let me know if they ever get Formula E. So if Kalshi has Formula E, I may be dipping my toes in. I'm not putting thousands of dollars down, but just for the fun of it.
I literally cannot recommend a sport worth betting in less than Formula E.
That's why I want to do it.
It's literally
my money away.
The worst sport. The only thing you can really bet on in Formula E is that Dan Ticktum might have a meltdown. That's a safe bet. That's the safest bet you have.
I want to take my hard-earned money and throw it away at the sport that I absolutely love. What's wrong with that?
Oh my God. And it's not betting. Let's be honest, everyone. It's not betting.
Yeah.
It's trading assets based on potential outcomes.
Exactly.
Oh my God. No. Hey, everyone, please save yourself the future chapter 11 and just avoid betting on these very nefarious systems.
But on the flip side, if you do and there is Formula E, leave down in the comments how many thousands of dollars you've lost.
Yeah, no, I will not sponsor that. I will not sponsor that. Do not spend any money.
Don't spend any money. But if you have, I want to know. I want to know the real world risk of doing such a silly thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe like trade a bored ape. You know, since those are like pennies now.
Right.
Like, yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna reel it back in a little to the whole Sanya situation because Dallas, this race really does feel like it's still in the Gen 2 era. Like this was a full contact sport back when Formula E was just like, oh yeah, we hit each other.
Right.
That's just what we do. You know, they literally put armor over the wheels to prevent from constant destruction. I'm mixed on this one because it was an absolute spectacle. But Dallas, for how scenic this place is, this track was not like scenic at all. No. like we got dark barricades and some palm trees waving overhead. This could have been in Florida for all I care. Mm-hmm. And you know, in the end of it, this is a short track. This has maybe the most destructive hairpin of all time in Formula E history. It kind of feels like Jeff Dodds is honeypotting like BYD. He's like, look, we got 2 races in China now. I know you're considering, so we got the big spenders. We got a whole race just for them. Why not? It feels a little desperate. And, little forecast, everyone. We are recording this on Tuesday, which means that this morning we learned a whole bunch of news. This race is coming back next year. Do you think that they predicted that that this was going to be what happened? Or like, do you think that they're like, ooh, Gen 4, that'll be a fun one in this circuit, right, everyone? Like,
I think they looked at the map and they saw the country with the red and the yellow stars and was like, cool, let's do it again.
I just think that they're trying to kill Dan Ticktum. I think they're like, we're going to give him a hero's death. Like, send him out the way that he
tread lightly with that comment, because my stance on Gen 4 hasn't changed. I think that is an incredibly dangerous car.
It's so dangerous.
See some shit next year.
And if he does braking zones like this, like Mitch Evans is going to lose a head. It's gonna be pretty scary, because I do also want to reiterate to everyone, although the Gen 4 is very sleek and very, very fast, very, very powerful, it is also heavy. It's heavier than all these cars. It's heavier than every Formula E car in history, which, if you've ever seen someone try to take a Tesla around the Nürburgring, you know what happens when a heavy car goes very, very fast and loses control, is it is literally a brick thrown through a window. So I'm a little afraid. You know, I'm a little afraid to see what happens with this circuit going forward, because it is going to be, it's going to be this probably the black dot on next year's season.
It's going to be the title sponsor too. The 2027 brick throwing Sanya E-Prix.
Yeah. Geez, Dallas. Nyck de Vries. Hey, Nyck de Vries had a pretty good month. I mean, all of a sudden, Nyck de Vries is winning a lot. Like, he won in Monaco, and fun fact, everyone, Nyck de Vries also won in Le Mans, and then sheerly, just by not making terrifying maneuvers on people, he got on the podium. Well, he didn't actually get on the podium, but
technically he got on the podium, but also it wasn't just the result of a Drugovich penalty and boom, like de Vries is on the podium. No, he was far back at the restart after the red flag. He timed it down. He took his attack mode and he was weaving through. This is like the Nyck de Vries that we know and the one that can perform well and the one that we've talked about all season long when stuff hasn't been going his way. He does exactly what we should expect Nyck de Vries to do, and he was rewarded by circumstance to get on the podium.
Yeah, and it was a weird weekend too because it was like, you know, Mahindra was bad. They were not qualifying well, which is rare for Ito and Nyck de Vries, frankly, lately. So it was like, oh man, it's going to be hard for them to work through the field. And then they got their, you know, their strategy kind of in the mix. And then they got into a lot of contact because they were in the back of the pack. And then, I mean, Dallas, Ito got beat up. Like, he was getting slugged in all directions. Like, people bouncing off of him, people cutting him. And at one point, he had his front wing flapping around like the wing of a pterodactyl. Like, it was like, ah! And you noticed this immediately, and ever since I saw it, I could not unhear it, Dallas. It sounded like the pod racer for the little monkey guy in
Sebulba.
It's Sebulba, that's the guy. Yeah, but you made a pretty funny little clip for us.
Because Mortara is now back through. Here comes Verline. He's going to make this one stick. Take attack.
It's the same sound. Where
DNF.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I still don't actually know what stopped him. I know that he was getting a little frustrated with everything. I mean, he was in a really good position with the broken wing flapping around and everything. He was in a good position. He defended the lead through all of the other leaders' attack modes. So he was in first. All the other major threat attack modes had been taken, and he was cruising with equal energy. And then, almost like a divine call, there was a red flag, and Mahindra put him in the pits. So now he's starting at the back because they needed to fix that wing. I want to know, I'm sure that there's a rule and you can't just do this. I want to know why they didn't just like karate chop the wing off.
Right.
You know, like they didn't put him in the pits. They just smashed the wing off. Does that count?
I mean, it was holding not well, but all throughout the race and all the bumping and grinding that was happening after the initial incident that messed up the wing, it wasn't flying off. So I don't know what the argument would be of it's not really a hazard because most of the wing is still attached, but maybe just playing it safe. And then with it being a red flag, it's the best opportunity in Formula E to make changes to the car. And he also wasn't the only one to repair the absolute carnage to the cars.
Yeah. But like at that point in time in the race, that the red flag, which by the way, the red flag was like a knee-jerk reaction. Like that was someone who's like, and then just slammed the red flag button.
Scott Elkins would never.
Was not a red flag. Literally every car was drivable. It was crazy. Every car was drivable. They just got a little bunched up. Scott Elkins would never.
No.
Yeah, it was a knee-jerk red flag. And then, his car, fully repaired, he retires.
Yeah.
What happened?
What was really confusing is after the restart, I think Cassidy had to come in and serve a penalty, which he did. But then the tower, Ito was underneath the tower on the screen. Like we couldn't see his placement. Yeah. And then a 5-second cut to the car's parked. Like Ito isn't even in the car anymore. It's been sitting there. And they're like, oh yeah, Ito's done. Like, whatever. We're not going to go and give more info into that.
Yeah. Yeah. They just parked it, said nothing. I almost, you know what? We'll get into that later. I'm not proud of it, but I feel like I know what happened. Yeah, I mean, Dallas, it was a bloodbath when it came to the DNFs, the penalties. Sanya spared no prisoners. I think the biggest, I'm going to let you tackle the laundry list of the penalties that happened here. I almost feel like the stewards are doing this to spite the Formula E zone now that they know they have stewards watch. Yeah. Like, they're like, here, why don't you commentate these? And they're just like giving them homework to do now.
Which has bled into our stuff. I didn't think when I woke up this morning I was going to go to the FIA website and pull up official documents, but here we are.
Okay. I asked you to do it while I was doing my ablutions.
Yeah, you gave me busy work, and I'm happy to do the busy work. Starting off, Lucas de Grassi, 10-second stop and go penalty due to a steward's decision, served in the pit lane. Nice guy Nick Cassidy, the Conjurer, 10-second penalty due to steward's decision, served in the pit lane. Dan Ticktum, 10-second penalty due to steward decision, served in the pit lane. You, or the Brazilian you, Drugovic.
Brazilian cousin Taylor.
Time penalty of 5 seconds due to steward decision. Zane Maloney, 5 seconds, converted into a drop of 3 grid position for the next race due to steward's decision. Dan Ticktum again, time penalty of 5 seconds, converted into a drop of 3 grid positions for the next race due to steward's decision.
Dallas, we got to send Dan Ticktum a card.
We're going to sign it. And I mean, it's only fair because shout out to Dean in the Fantasy League. Got me this rare piece of signed Dan Ticktum action. So yeah, we should return the favor and then, just a wishing you well. Go to the Hallmark store and be like, hope you're doing okay. Because 2 penalties in this race. We're not even done with the penalties yet. Pascal, 5-second penalty due to steward's decision. And then finally, probably the best penalty of the day to Da Costa. 5-second penalty due to the steward's decision.
Thank God. That means we can finally appreciate him again.
I love him.
Yeah, it was a hard couple weeks hating Da Costa.
I would say where we're at right now, we're coming into the home stretch. At the very beginning of the season, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would dislike Antonio Felix da Costa. I never thought in my wildest dreams that Dan Ticktum would be on the chopping block and no longer in the sport. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that Andretti's second seat was essentially locked in for next year. It's been a wild season, and this was a wild race.
I would have never thought that Joel Eriksson was going to be a secure following seat compared to Robin Freins.
It's just been one of those years like every other year in Formula E.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Shout out to Joel Eriksson. You're doing great, man. I was so wrong about you. You are a real deal. You're the real deal. Well, Dallas, I mean, of all of these things, I mean, we've heard a lot of names in those penalties, but I think the biggest stunners are the fact that we had an absolute championship contender blowout. It was like literally the top 4 all walked out goose eggs. In fact, not only did Pascal / Mitch Evans / Ollie Rowland / Ito Mortara get no points, they also introduced 2 more people into the general window of contest. And I always say general window of contest because it is Jake Dennis and it is Antonio Felix da Costa, who are now 34 to 36 points from the championship. Now, if you know these drivers, you know that they can just decide to go on a winning spree. And they're going to win like 3 or 4. That tanks the entire that they take the championship. They do that. So, 36 points seems like a huge amount. And it, frankly, it is in this sport, considering that, you make one wrong move and you're no points for the next month. But it is, it's really like London is shaping up to be the best and worst race of Mitch Evans' career. I mean, I'm going to tell you this right now. It is going to be Mitch Evans in the title hunt again at London, and he is going to get absolutely
not good.
He's going to get absolutely. He's going to have a 25-point lead, and he is going to walk away with 7 points, and Da Costa wins the championship. Like, I'm predicting it now. It sucks because, honestly, I really, truly respect Mitch Evans. He is the most winning driver in Formula E history.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he doesn't have a title to show for it is astonishing and frankly painful to hear. And he's at a point now where he can't even enjoy driving. He is a f***ing diva. Listen to the way he talks to his crew as they're literally laboring to try to fix his car and send it back out on track.
Okay, if we commit to a repair, we fall to the very back of the pack. No, we're last anyway. Yeah, copy.
Yeah, good point, Mitch.
So just try and fix it.
Yeah, right decision.
As he has his little fan cooling off, he's like Caesar in the golden chair being fed grapes, and he's like, fix the car.
Fix it. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun radio commentary. Pascal.exe had a funny little run-in with Ollie. Ollie really had some self-inflicted damage today. And Pascal, in response, had one of the funniest Chris Hansen responses. I mean, this happened way back in our first season of recording. But Ito Martara had a Chris Hansen moment where he had to make it very clear he did not touch Robin Friends, almost verbatim.
I guess
Da Costa,
you should probably queue up for the international audience who isn't familiar with Chris Hansen's work.
Yes,
what this means.
Chris Hansen, to catch a predator. If you grew up in the United States in the 90s, this is what told your parents that someone could just destroy your future. This was it. Chat rooms are not safe. Do not let your kids onto AOL. Chris Hansen would kick down the door of some Epstein list individuals and
non-billionaire Epstein list.
Yes, the low
working class.
The working class, and we're not trying to make a lot of this. This is tragic stuff, and his work was courageous. But Pascal did have what sounded like a confrontation with Chris Hansen.
I didn't touch him. He did it on his own.
Honestly, I'm just glad to know that they're not training Pascal with Grok.
Yeah, that would have been a different response.
It would have been a very different response. He's like, "How many angles do you want?" But yeah, so we had all sorts of crazy crap that was happening here. But Dallas, I think we got to move to the biggest news.
Yes.
Sanya, hey, done and dusted. Can't wait to see how gray my hair is going to be next year.
Yes. I am so glad that in previous years we've done a schedule prediction, and then the day before the episode comes out, the real schedule gets dropped. So I'm glad we waited. We've learned a lot from doing this over the last couple of years, but we have a jam-packed 21 race schedule for the 2026-2027 calendar year.
Oh, Big Daddy Dodds was cooking something up special for us, Dallas. He was cooking up something special.
So the first thing that popped out to me when I saw this schedule is there are virtually no fat gaps in between races. It is 5 weeks max on average, like 3 weeks in between races.
But the good news is that it does end in July.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to the butt crack of August. So that's good. But yeah, this is a long season, and it is jam-packed, Dallas. It is jam-packed.
What track stands out the most, either new or returning, that you are most excited for to see a Gen 4 car race on? Aside from Sanya, you've kind of already given some pre
yeah, I think my Sanya opinion is pretty clear. Well, I mean, shout out to Kyle from the Current Lap for telling the world that we are excited for Austin, because frankly, I almost crapped myself when I saw that we're going to Coda because that was not. I thought it was going to be like Laguna Seca at the best, or like some B-level, outskirts track in California, or like Arizona or something crazy like that. No, they said, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just get it over with. Send them to Coda, and we're now the next most exciting thing to watch, if not more exciting than F1. We're going to race in a lot of same circuits.
7 tracks.
Crazy.
7 tracks are Formula One tracks. Like this, Formula E and Gen 4 is essentially Formula One now. This is the top dog. It's Formula
1.5.
It's close.
Yeah, Formula 1.5. It's an actual point of career height for potential future drivers. You can actually see that the circuits are, in fact, there for the long run. So, yeah, Circuit of the Americas in Austin in February. I'll be there. Dallas, you'll be there.
I'll be there.
Miami's back. Whatever. You know how we feel about Miami. Well, at least I'm.
Let's roll it back because you skipped over Jeddah and Mexico City. Let's just go through this schedule.
Yeah.
Starting in Jeddah, doubleheader.
Still shocked that they didn't just round it out and say, you know what, Mexico City, let's do a doubleheader and just make it an even 22. That's fine. That's fine. Mexico City won one single circuit. You know what? I think that it's probably just because of the fact that we have 2 new race modes, which we're going to get into. And I don't think maybe Mexico City is just like the length of it is not going to be like conducive to driving flat out on like unstoppable amounts. But they didn't do it this year either. And that pit boost race was good. So there might be some other negotiating issues that happen there, but it seems like one that should be a doubleheader. I don't know. Jeddah, I mean, if they're doing Jeddah as 2 races, they have to be able to do Mexico City.
Right.
Like Jeddah is super high energy consumption. I don't know. Sao Paulo, that's a single race. That makes sense. Sanya, RIP. Berlin. Now, here is the big one that stood out to me that I was just tickled fancy over. And actually, there's 2 of them. Brands Hatch, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Honestly, congrats to all you UK fans. I know the XL Arena is a huge loss. What you're getting in return is sick. It's one of my all-time favorite circuits in Forza and all time. So could be a lot worse. Over the pond, you guys are eating pretty. We're eating pretty. Let's have some barbecue in Austin. We'll make a nice season out of this. Then we got Zandvoort. What the hell?
Those banked turns. Just seeing a Gen 4 on those. That's
they're gonna be driving in the dunes.
Yeah.
They're going to be tearing up the dunes. Dallas, Formula E is kind of like the place for reject Formula One tracks now.
Yeah, but
did you hear me?
Good tracks.
Amazing tracks. And, oh, God, dude. Doubleheader in Madrid. Thank Jeff Dodds.
This was my favorite takeaway from this. Like after I got off of the high of like, oh my God, we get to go to a Formula E race next year. Then I saw at the bottom, round 16 and 17, doubleheader in Madrid, what this year's Madrid should have been, and it was such a fantastic race. I'm so pumped for this weekend.
Yeah, and we're finishing it out in Tokyo, which night race again. So night race this year, night race next year. Tokyo in the light, the glowing signs of the city are going to be the backdrop of the championship. It has just been doing better and better in Japan as it continues to grow. Like, it's just, this is, I think, the first time where they've really released a schedule, and I've been like, they finally did it right.
We've eviscerated schedule releases in the past. Absolutely torn apart.
God, man, the heartbreak of the friggin' Miami circuits that we've had to put up with. And I mean, it's pretty crazy that the big glaring exclamation point on this is literally just Sanya. And that's because we just had it, right. And I'm worried for the safety of the drivers. Like that's to my benefit. I'm like, that's going to be a crazy episode to talk about. But
well, probably because it's fresh, little bitter taste in our mouths. First time in Sanya in the Gen4 era. Yeah, I mean, timing wise, Sanya doesn't look great, but everything else looks fantastic. And to your point, when we cover this race, the Sanya race next year, it's going to be, wow, this was absolutely insane. Can you believe that four cars did barrel rolls in the air?
Can you believe that Antonio Felix da Costa's car made it into the ocean? Like, like that's going to be the talking points of that episode. So it's probably going to do great. It's going to give us great numbers, reluctantly. Yeah, so I mean that's a huge thing. Dallas, we also have some format changes to the races themselves. Now, I still don't know entirely how to feel about this because it's a little elusive as to really, like, I mean, it's not elusive. They gave us a lot of the core details, but how it's going to play out is going to be a little tricky. So we got the standard E-Prix, like a 45-minute-ish race. From what I understand, still laps.
I hope so.
They put like 45 minutes. It's still a lapped race, fingers crossed. And they're going to have the low downforce body kits for efficiency's sake. 8 minutes of attack mode and pit boost. So pit boost is now mandatory on basically every race weekend. One race is going to be pit boost. If it's the only race, it's probably going to just be a pit boost race. Because on the other end of the aisle is the E-Prix Unleashed, the 320 milligram of caffeine energy, like
it's
gas station boner pill version of Formula E, where they're just like, hey, you know that thing we do where we like pace the cars? Nah, run them.
No, what it is the gas station boner pills. It's like, hey, if you have ED, you take this pill, it could help you out. And E-Prix Unleashed is taking that boner pill, opening the container, the pill part, making a line, and just railing it, and then going and racing. And Formula E has a fantastic history of doing promos for new seasons. As we know, car falling out of the sky, people racing on foot to finish a race. I wouldn't be surprised to promo this E-Prix Unleashed. They're going to get some like AI generated electric tiger that just roars.
With a massive bulge. Like, the lightning shooting out of its genital region. Like, look, this is the most like UFC crazy version of Formula E we've ever seen. They have never once in their entire history been like, just drive as fast as you can. just do it. Just drive as fast as you can. We don't care. Just, I don't know, 30 minutes? I don't care how short the race is. Just drive as fast as you can. They've never done that once in the season. It used to be like, hey, wean the car so you can go get another car. This is the first time in Formula E history where they're like, yeah, I don't know. Go pop like a couple blue chews and get out there. Like,
take your blue chews, make your Kalshi nuts, and just floor it.
Yeah. I'm horrified at like at how appealing this sounds to me, but they're really like, hey, they're really like, hey, Formula One, we know you hate the cars right now. Why don't you come over here, see what we can do for 30 minutes? What's that? Attention span too short for Formula One? 30 minutes. 30 minutes over here. Formula E Unleashed.
Format of electric racing. Yes. Just doom scrolling with your pedal to the ground.
That's what it feels like, Dallas. That's what it feels like. Oh man, we're gonna have to clip this one for the conversation. So that's an exciting part. So obviously, they're not gonna take you to Miami and just give you a 30-minute race for a weekend. So the Unleashed is almost going to be like a sprint race for the doubleheader. So it's going to be, a shorter race where they're, just varicose veins all the way through their neck. But honestly, I feel like that's kind of like a decent outcome. I mean, it's still a full point scoring race. It's really going to allow two different types of drivers to shine, which I actually don't know how that's going to work for the championship.
Yeah.
It's like, it's completely two different modalities of driving. And a lot of what makes Formula E special is that the drivers are incredibly intelligent. So to have them just kind of like black out into a primal rage is going to be
go monkey brains and just be like, just step on it. David Beckman may be coming back to Formula E.
They're just going to be like, just grip the steering wheel and it, man. Go for it. And then the next race, they're like, hey, pull out your calculator. We're driving with beeps and boops. It's like, it's just crazy. But
I'm sure Mahindra is looking at this and be like, really? We couldn't do that this year? We would be on top by a mile if we had this Unleashed mode. So, okay, we've cracked a bunch of jokes. It's 30 minutes. It's high down force, 6-minute attack mode, and no pit boost. So it is really just a go boner pill of a race.
Yeah, and they only gave him 6 minutes of attack mode because that's like if they go any longer, their heart might stop. The other crazy thing that they're doing now, Dallas, is that they are adding in an entire points array to qualifying.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're doing first place is now getting 5 points. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's weird because if you qualify first, you get 4 points, but then you get an additional point for being
so just pole. Making it into the duels. Just making it into the duels, I think you get 1 point. You're getting more points for just qualifying in general. Which I know a lot of people are like, why are you getting points to not be on pole position? To which case, I say, hey, do you remember in Berlin where drivers intentionally chose not to be on pole because of what a disadvantage it was? Mm-hmm. Like, this is, why don't they just put pole position 5 points?
It's like you get that just extra little boost. Like, you should feel really good that you qualified first, but feel even better because you're on pole. I don't know.
Is it like, oh, I'm on first, but I'm in grid debt still, so I only get 4 points instead of 5 points? All right, for the sake of this conversation, we're going to say first place gets 5 points, second place gets 3 points, third and fourth get 2 points, and then the rest of the duels get 1 point. Mm-hmm. So that's I think that's actually a pretty smart choice, considering that like qualifying has been kind of a mixed bag for the sport. Like, the duels have been very exciting up until I think around this year, where everyone figured out the duels to a point where it's like, does qualifying matter? Does it not matter? Should we be trying? Should we be saving our tires?
Right.
Like, do we really want to go to the duels and then be at a disadvantage for tires, knowing how this whole series works over a race weekend? Now it's like, hey, you can walk out by getting a point just for trying in qualifying, and you could walk out with 5 points for pole position. That's not small, Dallas. I mean, Dan Ticktum earned 6 points in Monaco this year and did not finish a race.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder what, because at the beginning of each new generation, it's always been just chaos. I wonder how many people are going to be short-sighted in quali and Jeddah, and how many crashes we're going to get in qualifying, scrapping for 5 points instead of going into the race to get full points. We'll probably see.
Oh, man. No, I think that these cars are going to be a completely different beast. I don't think that they're going to be like crazy squirrely. I think they're going to be driving on the limit. but I also think that they're going to respect the cars a lot more. Like, this car is a lot more planted. It's a lot more capable. Part of what Formula E has historically been really entertaining for is the fact that the cars are imperfect. Mm-hmm. They're designed to be kind of interesting to race and like kind of their own challenge in a race. That's why early Gen 3 sucked. No grip. It was just crazy bumper cars and razor blade front wings. Gen 3 Evo solved a lot of that, but it still had some limit in the fact that it's not in all-wheel drive. Mm-hmm. That's where the car really shines. So you still kind of somewhat limited in how you're like battling each other. But now they're just like, hey, we're going to make the car really good. And we're going to make it a technical feat that is just going to show where the sport is going to continue to keep going. So I think that it's going to be, I think qualifying is going to be kind of jaw-dropping.
It has to be. Now that there's points involved and it's going to be, you have the E-Prix Unleashed version of the race. Qualifying is just a junior version of that.
I mean, it's the dual format itself is just, it's just cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a cool way to do qualifying. And, you know, you watch the onboard laps and you're like, hey, dang, these guys are really throwing it around these corners. I think next year it's going to be like, holy, these guys are really slamming these turns. They're really pushing the car. So yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting. So actually, I know it's divisive. I think qualifying point system is a net positive for the sport.
There's a comment section.
Yeah. That's most of what I got here, Dallas.
Yeah, I was going to say comment section. What are your thoughts on this race, the new regs, the calendar, all that good stuff? Leave it down in the comments. Also, we've been going through a bit of a dry spell for Pascal.exe. It's kind of been taking a back seat, saving water, which is good. If you have a question for Pascal, drop that in there as well. Leave all the comments.
Yeah, we're using the German underground data center, so there's no destruction of water systems for our AI questions. Just kidding. It sucks. Don't use it. We do
just bet
as
on
little
Kalshi.
AI as we can. Yeah, just bet on Kalshi. Dallas, we got a league overview update.
We do. Potentially big moves if the top dogs would have actually finished in the points, but you are still at the top, but your lead is dwindling.
You know, it's not dwindling nearly as hard as it could have been. Thank you for the penalties, stewards, and moving Nyck de Vries up and my rivals down. Pretty cool. Walked out kind of unscathed.
We've been sharing these updates all throughout the season, also as maybe a little bit of a teaser to something that we might be working on. So we've got some interest in the comments so far. If you have yet to give your insight or your interest rather into a potential Formula E fantasy league, let us know. Because this has been a whole lot of fun. This is actually how this whole podcast started. We were running the fantasy league before there was a podcast. So, that's how we're doing. And the future is looking exciting, not only for the league, the fantasy league, but also just the sport in general. This upcoming season is going to blow the lid off of everything.
Yeah, we are in for a treat. Closing remarks, Dallas. We got Shanghai next. Historically, a home race for Neo 333 / I don't even remember what the last ERT. A place where Dan Ticktum has repeatedly been told to shine. Do you think he's going to finish this race?
Yes. I think he'll finish both races because he did the Pepe flip over Mitch.
And you think he's going to score points in both races?
I think we're going to get Dan Ticktum unleashed.
Yeah. I'm going to jinx it, but I think that this might be where Ito wins.
Maybe. Or maybe
I
not.
think that,
if it pisses in Shanghai again, throw it all away.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. But I think that, like, I remember in the past couple of years, the Mahindra had specifically kind of been good at Shanghai. I remember, like, there was a few times. That was when Mahindra was absolute dog turd. And we were like, what the hell is Nyck de Vries doing in the front of the pack? What's he trying to do? They've qualified kind of decently well over the past couple of years up here. And it just feels like generally a race where some magic can happen in a doubleheader. So very optimistically and with absolute regret, I think that Ito might win a race here.
See, I see what you're doing, though. You're fishing for what we both want individually out of this race. But we're just coming off of Sanya, where anything can happen. So could these results end up being true? Sure. But also we could be completely wrong.
Yes. Exactly.
On that note.
Well, hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's been fun.
You will hear from us next after Shanghai. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, bye.